No,
Okay. Why?
because I'm a bad person.
Okay.
When bad people do bad things, they're bad.
What makes you bad?
Remember that, kids.
What? No, it's good. It's a good answer. What has made you bad? What have you done
I
wrong?
do whatever I want
Okay.
without regard for the consequences.
Okay.
That's about it.
So do you think you're going to heaven?
I don't think there is a heaven.
Really?
Yeah.
How did you come to that conclusion?
I mean, pure logic. Have you ever met anybody from heaven?
Well,
You know there's people from Tampa. Actually meet people from Tampa. You know
Sure.
there's people from Alaska. Actually meet
Sure.
people from Alaska. You never meet anybody from heaven.
how do you think the trees and the puppies got here? Magically?
Science.
What does that mean?
A little amoeba or a cell turned into 2 cells, turned into 4 cells,
So-
and grew up into a big...
So rocks wrote DNA? That's what you're saying. I mean, that doesn't sound like
No.
science. That sounds kind of like a mystical
Well, we're all,
fantasy.
We're all carbon.
Sure, but I'm talking about DNA.
You're just a whole combination of carbon
Sure.
and organic chemistry coming together to make your...
But I'm talking about DNA.
Yeah.
Super complex code. And
I mean,
you're saying that just happened randomly?
Theoretically,
I mean,
it
how is that?
could have come from outer space.
But do you understand? Okay, or theoretically, but you understand to just think it happened willy-nilly without intelligent design is not scientific. You understand that, right? It's faith. That's a faith-based position. Do you understand that?
Explain.
Well, you're saying that DNA code just magically happened over time, but we have no evidence of that.
We don't?
We don't experience the world that way. No, I mean, this concrete can't even form itself without.
So what kind of computer do you have?
I have both, a Mac and a Microsoft
And which
computer.
one works better?
I would say the Mac.
And why do you think that is?
Better code, right? Better, yeah.
And so where did that code come from?
Well, it came from a mind. That's my whole argument. Is God, the mind, the great mind, wrote all this. God says He spoke everything into existence.
So all of that code starts from a combination of zeros and ones.
Sure.
And that zeros and ones is extremely simplistic.
Yeah.
But then you build that into a base operating system. Base
Sure.
operating system then built into the more complex.
Very good.
layers.
Complex. The order's complex.
And so
Complexity
DNA
doesn't happen.
DNA didn't occur as a strand, as a
Okay.
double helix. DNA got built up block
Sure.
by block by block,
Okay.
just like code.
But you understand. You understand that's not scientific.
What?
Well, you just said you have to have a mind to take all the simple ones and zeros
I mean,
and arrange them
We've
complexly.
mapped the genome.
Yeah, brains.
Yeah.
That's my whole point. We only see brains developing patterns. We never see patterns.
Quite the opposite. Your brain interprets pattern. If I draw you a picture, you got a pen and paper?
I don't. Well, let's just talk about hieroglyphics.
So
Well,
what's- what's-
here's this is
What-
this
what-
is code, right? Words.
I'll tell you what.
We're speaking code. We're grunting code to each
What
other.
shape is that there on the tile?
Square, diamond, checker,
Could be all the above.
right? Yeah.
Right? And so your brain is purposely looking at a pattern
Sure.
and interpreting it.
Sure. But
You
I would
ever
never
heard of
but
Gestalt's-
I would never think wind and sand made these patterns. If I look at hieroglyphics, I don't think, wow, that's pretty crazy how the wind blew and made carvings in stone. I say, a mind has been here. If I drop a transmission in the middle of Borneo,
Yeah.
in the jungles of Borneo, that guy's never seen a transmission, but he knows the tree didn't make it. That
So
came
we know
from,
where your
he
mind
doesn't
came
know
from.
what it
Then.
does.
Your mind came from originally carbon,
Sure.
which then became a single cell organism. One cell became two, two became four.
But we're arguing who directed the carbon? Who directed
Why does it have to be
life?
directed?
Well, because
When rain falls, where does it fall?
you're denying the pattern you experience in life. Like you named computers, you name that. So you're pointing to intelligent design,
But you
yet
did-
you deny the God who made us. And there's the contradiction. You see how
You got to talk to my friend Natasha.
Why?
You ever heard of quantum?
Well, you seem smart,
Okay.
but I just
You ever
feel
heard
like,
of
I feel
Schrödinger's
like
cat?
you're not being true to your own argument.
Except for the fact that everything I'm talking about is based on. So let's talk about logic,
Okay.
right? If 1 becomes 2, 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 8, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera,
Okay.
that eventually extrapolates into a very, very large number.
Sure. Sure.
And there's a probability that that will happen.
Okay.
That can be proven over and over and over again
Sure.
in whatever you want. But you can't prove that anybody created something from nothing.
Well,
Nothing has ever materialized out of thin air.
I can't prove that I went to college, but I did. I have a historical documental proof. So I would say, you know, you look around, this testifies.
So
That's
what I will say is neither of us really know.
We don't like goats, us Christians.
We're never gonna know who's right or wrong until we're dead.
Okay.
And
sure.
I hope
But I just want you to consider, if Christ rose from the dead, you can trust him.
Probably not. I'm Jewish, so you'd be pissed at me.
Well, no.
We gotta run, fellas.
I love the Jews. My God is the God of the Jews. But being Jewish can't save you, sir.